Yeah, I think for me today, I didn't say it to the players, but I think winning at home was important. You know, most of our fans come here to watch us, and the one thing you don't want to do is go too long without picking up a win at home. I think the performance made it better. You know, I thought we carried a threat throughout most of the game, which was good. I thought our structure in the first half was a little bit open, made the game quite transitional. I thought we looked as if we were going to score, but every time we went forward, but equally we looked a little bit open at the back. I thought second half, because we're leading, I sort of changed that a little bit, made us a little bit more structured behind the ball in the second half, which I think defensively helps, but then you have less of the ball, you carry less of a threat. And for me at the moment, it's just trying to how much I turn that dial in terms of trying to get the balance right between scoring goals and looking threatening, but also making sure we try and keep the back door shut.
Thank you.
Remember how the attack has struggled in previous games. Just how much of these changes you've made in the last month improve matters in that regard?
When you mean changes, do you mean structurally or do you mean
Well,
like players?
Signings, basically.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of both. You know, because obviously Aaron Conley's been in. Today's his first goal, but he's played the last couple of games. But I think we've looked threatening the last couple of games as well. But yeah, I think it's a combination of everything. I mean, there's competition for places. We've brought in some good quality at the top end of the pitch that can sort of play in tight spaces and link and do all the bits in the round edge of the box. But we've also got the guys who've performed brilliantly the last couple of games that haven't been sort of brought in the last sort of few days. So I'm not going to give credit to one sort of group of players and not the other. Do you know what I mean? It's a collective thing, and I think we're playing pretty well at the moment.
Luke Cundle, though, I mean, he probably barely knows some of his own teammates at the moment, but you wouldn't have guessed the way he linked up with them today.
Yeah, he's had one day.
Yeah.
So he met them yesterday. We done half a training session, well, not even half a training session because it's fifth game in 2 weeks. So yeah, but good players can play anywhere. You know, they understand. As long my job's to make sure I give them a structure so they understand defensively and offensively how we're going to work, and then their decision making, their quality will dictate whether they play well or whether they don't. You know, but certainly of late they've been performing very well.
Perfect start to the game, wasn't it? I mean, great ball by Kramer. Yeah.
After 1 minute, after 2 minutes, I'm not so sure. Yeah, it's a great start. It's a great goal. Obviously, I think today we've hit the bar, we've hit the post, we've scored 2 goals. We've had moments where we're running about the edge of the box, we've looked threatening, we've put a few across the face. So yeah, I think you're never going to go for being scoring 1 goal a game or averaging 1 goal a game or even less than that, I think, over the season, to all of a sudden scoring 3 and 4 every match. And this league's so difficult. You know, it doesn't matter who you play, whether you play top end, whether you play bottom end. All the games are really, really tough for different reasons. So, but I think what we have showed, I thought we were much more comfortable on the ball today, particularly in the first half. I thought we moved the ball better than we have done, which is really pleasing because we're developing that side of the game. And then I think we showed what Millwall have been for the last 10 years, which is hard to beat, head the ball out your box, defend, be gritty. And you need to win. To win games at this level, you need to have both sides. You know, I think that we're certainly improving in certain aspects.
I mean, the Cundle goal as well shows great reactions to get in there. Maybe the defender could react a bit quicker, but you know, it's fantastic reaction.
That's a negative way of looking at it. Yeah, listen, it was a good goal. Do you know what I mean? But like I say, I think that was one we hit the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he followed it up. Yeah. So, I just thought we carried a threat. Do you know what I mean? I thought we were threatening the whole game. I thought when Aaron Conley came in his right foot, he just looked dangerous all the time. I thought Luke making runs. I thought Mihailo could have got on the end of a couple of bits and bobs around the edge of the box as well. So yeah, I was really pleased.
So Tristan Kramer got open a lot. I think he had a hand in both goals in a more of an unfamiliar position. You know, he saw him galloping down quite a few times. It was quite an impressive performance.
Excellent. He's been brilliant. Really, really good. Bear in mind, we've signed him as a centre back. You know, and he's playing right back out of position at the moment. But some of the demands that I've had to put on this group for the last 5 games has been incredible. You know, because obviously Callum Scanlon obviously does his hamstring. Joe Reilly's our only fit left back at the moment. The amount of minutes that he's had to churn through is tough, but he's done it brilliantly.
Millwall have had quite a active past few days. You must be delighted to bring some of them, especially the club record signing, Camille Negley. You must be delighted to have him in the door.
Yeah, I think that this was always the plan. You know what I mean? So this, like, I don't know, people are acting as if they're surprised now. I don't know, everybody I've talked to seems as if, like, what is going on? The plan was when I came in, if somebody was going to buy Romain, that Romain was going to leave, obviously. And then we were going to try and invest in some younger players to bring them in, try and develop the style, try and make us more threatening and try and score more goals. as well as bringing some young lads in and try to create some assets. Do you know what I mean? That the plan was always there. It's just at the moment the plan's working really quite well. I'm not daft. I know in 2 weeks it might not be so well, because that's the nature of football and that's the nature of this league. So, but we're certainly going to enjoy it at the moment while we're doing what we're doing. And I think the lads deserve huge amounts of credit, as does the club, in terms of wanting to invest, wanting to improve the squad. And I think, yeah, I would think being a Millwall fan right now is quite exciting.
Yeah, I mean, Director of Football Steve Gallen, in his statement in the sign, took particular to credit you for helping it get across the line. Did you have a particular role in it?
That much. So yeah, listen. Obviously, it's a collective thing. It always is. People worry about these things too much in terms of who makes the signings. Is it the manager? Is it the recruitment team? Is it the director of football? It's never one person ever at any club I've ever been at. It's a collective thing, and when the player comes in, we support them. We give them obviously the platform that they deserve. Hopefully, if they train well and play well. But it's never one person that ever makes any decision at clubs. Do you know what I mean? It's always a collective decision. So everybody's behind it. We're hopefully pushing in the one direction all together, positively, and we'll see where we go.
I believe there's one more. I'm going to try to say this right. Benassia Baker Boati. I believe he had his medical. Is there anything you can tell us about him?
No.
Okay. Lastly, from me, can we expect any more signings over the next until Monday?
Well, never say never. Do you know what I mean? I'm not sure. Obviously, we've got a designated recruitment team that focuses on that 24/7. What I do is I dip into it if and when I need to, in terms of looking at players, discussing players, different things like that. My focus has been on the games because they're the most important thing to me at this moment in time. But the window's still open, so let's wait and see.
Can I quickly ask you about Negri in terms of what are his strengths? When you've watched him and done your homework on him, what would you say?
Are we talking about Camille?
Yeah.
He can play outside the pitch, he can play inside the pitch, so he can play wide if you need him to, you can play in the pocket. Technically he's very good, he can score a goal, he's creative, he can move with the ball, you know, he can hold on to the ball. Not too dissimilar to Aaron Conley in terms of he can sort of dribble with it and draw people towards him, he can pick a pass out. What we do need to remember though is we need to give him time. You know, he's came for a different league, he's came for a different culture, he's came for a different country. So sometimes when you do that, you do take a little bit of time to settle. I can speak through experience just coming through Preston to London. You know, I'm still in an Airbnb at the moment, I'm still living out my suitcase. So yeah, those elements matter, particularly when you're a player. Less so for me, because I can sort of do my work wherever. But as far as he's concerned, we just need to be patient with him and let him sort of build himself up as well. But he's here for the here and now. He's not a future one, if you like. Do you know what I mean? He's a ready-made player. But I just don't want to put too much pressure on him.